Hi guys, welcome to TuesGays with Kade. So this week's topic is regrets and mistakes, and also goals and accomplishments. So polar opposite things, right? So personally, for mistakes and regrets, I like to think that everything in life happens for a reason, obviously. So I don't know as much about regretting anything as I would say I've made mistakes. I think every action that you make in your life, has an equal consequence. Like, that's just how the cookie crumbles. But I don't think I have regrets because every mistake I've made has led me to a new chapter in my life. So we can dive into those. Mistakes. Plenty of them. I would say my first one is probably just from being a kid. Kids are stupid. Kids are so fucking stupid. Like, I have instances, like, where I would say my biggest mistakes from my childhood are probably being so mean to, like, my family, my mom especially. Like, we would fight like cats and dogs when I was a kid. Oh my god. And, like, I would yell and scream until I got my way. Like, if my mom told me no, like, if I was like, hey, can I go play with my friends? She told me no, you better believe I was going anyways. Like, I would fuss and scream and fight until I got out the door. Like, I was just a terrible child. Like, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Like, I tell my mom all the time that I'm sorry for how shitty I was as a kid, because it's just, as I've grown up and I've realized, like, oh my god, like, I was so, like, shitty. Like, I don't know, that's a big one. A lot of that I think was my environment, though, not that I'm justifying it, but, I just lived in a place, like, I had friends that's how they treated their parents, so then, subsequently, that's what I did. But, you can't take it back. It is what it is, and I think my mom and I both learned a lot from that. I was mean to my sister, too, and it's funny, I texted her, Amy, the other day, and I asked her if she remembered when I was a kid. I was probably like 10 or 11. I always wanted Girl Scout cookies. My mom, we grew up, like I said, poor and in government housing, so we'd never have any extra money. But my sister would come over and she'd bring us food. She'd bring us, I remember we used to do the Arby's 5 for 5. She would bring us McDonald's and talk about whatever. She would bring food, and we would watch TV shows certain nights. So, like, Thursday night, she always came over, probably around 5, or, like, when we got out of school after she was off of work, she would come over, and we'd watch TV, hang out, play board games, and then we'd watch ER at 9 o'clock. But Thursdays, I don't know why I remember that. I don't even know if you guys remember that show, ER. But anyways, one time she, like, called me and she was like, hey, I'm gonna come over tomorrow. I got you some Girl Scout cookies. Boy, I was excited. Like, I was so excited for these Girl Scout cookies. My mom couldn't afford them. And I had been in Girl Scouts as a kid, so I know, funny. Ha ha ha. Kayla in Girl Scouts. I did cheerleading too. Fun fact. Did not like that shit. But I played football too. So, gotta balance out. But she was like, yeah, I'm gonna come over, bring your Girl Scout cookies, whatever. My sister showed up with Girl Scout cookies. They were the fucking Thin Mints. I was 10 years old. I did not fucking like mint and chocolate together. What 10-year-old likes mint and chocolate together? None of them, because they're all fucking picky assholes. So I let my sister know. I told her I was mad. I was mad that she thought that I would like Thin Mints. Like, didn't she know me better than that? I don't like Thin Mints. So I was an asshole to her, and I remember this. I remember being an asshole. And might I add, my sister bought me bomb-ass presents from the time I was little until... Still currently she does. Like, my last birthday I wanted a G-Shock, and she got me a G-Shock. Speaking of which, it matches this shirt. It's black and yellow. Anyways, she still does get me really, really good presents. But as a kid, like, she spoiled us, like, so it was great. But I was so shitty to her about these Thin Mints. I was like, how did you buy me these Thin Mints? Like, I can't believe you bought me these Thin Mints. I don't like these Thin Mints. Anyways, long story short, I texted her the other day, and I was like, you remember that? And she was like, yeah, LOL, now you like Thin Mints. And I was like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. So, like, instances like that, like, I was just really shitty as a kid. And not that, like I said, you can't make excuses, but you grow up and you learn about all your mistakes. And so I want to make it a goal to teach my kids that even if you don't like something or you're not happy with something, that it's okay. Like, there's a reason, like, if your parents say no, you can't go outside, there's probably a reason. They either don't like your friends in the environment that your friends are in, they have a bad feeling about something, which, you know, is probably true. Like, they have a bad feeling, something bad probably is going to happen. More than likely, it probably did. For me, you know, there are reasons that people, like, there's no reason a parent would say no to a child to be spiteful or to be mean. They always have your best interest at heart. So, but yeah, so I texted my sister and I told her I'm sorry, and, you know, she laughed about it now, but it hurts my heart, you know, like, so yeah, being shitty as a kid is definitely one of my biggest, I would say, mistakes, and, like, I'm gonna teach my kids, like, I hope, how to handle that a little better. Another mistake, I would say the next one in chronological order would be doing drugs. I don't smoke weed now. I did for probably a year or two in high school. I personally I don't know if you can be allergic to THC, but every time I smoke, I get delusional. I, like, see shit, and it's just not a good time, so I don't smoke. And I haven't in 7 years, 8 years, a long fucking time. But I was doing that. I did coke a couple times. I'm being vulnerable now. What's wrong with me? You know, I was having sex, doing drugs, like, stealing, like, just doing stuff. Stealing, LOL, I'm an LP agent, so isn't that funny? I was 15 at the time, like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and like I said, my environment, like, I was out with my friends, they were stealing, I stole. Never anything big. I remember taking lip rings from Claire's, because I got my lip pierced in the projects. My friend pierced it with a needle, but that's a whole nother story. Boxers, see, that's another sign. I was stealing boxers when I was, like, 15, from, like, JCPenney's or whatever, because I wanted to wear boxers, and no one understood why, but I didn't even really understand it then, but I just was always like, boxers are cool, I want boxers. So, that too. You know, having unprotected sex, like, just doing all of these things that, you know, I don't want to say it's normal for a kid, but these are parts of, like, growing up and adolescence and figuring out who you are, but definitely made some mistakes in that whole scheme. Luckily, none of those were traumatic enough to do any real damage, so I'm quite lucky in that, but there are definitely regrets I have. Next in chronological order would probably be, I'm not going to college right out of high school. I tried twice, I dropped out twice. I think now, looking back on it, I would say I probably did it because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I still really don't, but so I would try to go to school, and I was like, why the fuck am I going to school? I don't want to be here. Why am I going? I don't want to be here. So I stopped going. There was no point. I was working 2 jobs at the time, so there's no point. And then I dropped out again. I tried again. I kind of had, like, a mental breakdown. I was like, I need to be something in my life, and so I tried to go to school again. And this is when my next part of the story comes into play. Next chronological order would be, I gave everything. In my past relationships, I gave all of myself to that relationship. Like, there was no being me, there was no focusing on myself, it was all or nothing in my relationships. So, first ex-girlfriend, I don't want to say I dropped out of college because of her, but if she texted me and was like, hey, come hang out, I didn't go to class, I went and hung out. She was like, hey, come do this, I was like, okay. Like, I remember one day showing up at her house, and in the trunk I had flowers and chocolate and balloons and all this shit. And I was, like, asking her to be my girlfriend or something. Not really sure, but I had all this shit in my trunk, and instead of going to class, I had went to the store and bought all this stuff and put it in my trunk. So then when I got to her house that day, I was like, hey, come outside. And she came outside and was like, hey, like, I need to get something out of my trunk. And I opened it, and all that stuff was in there, and, you know, kiss made out, it was all great, but, like, looking back on that, why the fuck was I not in class? Like, was that really worth it? Was that moment of, like, making out worth, like, jeopardizing my future? No. So that's definitely a mistake. Same with my last relationship. I gave all I had into that relationship. I wasn't focusing on myself. So, like, now I'm with Kaylee, and I kid you not, in 2.5 years' time, like, my life was a mess with my ex. Like, and it's not her fault. She didn't do anything. It was just, like, a personal choice. I've always put all or nothing in my relationships. So, like, I didn't have a car. I was working part-time. I wasn't in school. Like, I just wasn't bettering myself. And then it was weird, like, as soon as I met Kaylee, I started putting all these pieces together. Like, I was focusing on myself because I wanted to be better for her. So definitely a mistake would be just focusing so much on my significant other and not enough on myself. There's a really good balance to that, and it doesn't mean you can be a shitty partner if you're focusing on yourself too. But that took a lot of time to realize. Other mistakes, fucking just not being an adult. I'm at 10 minutes, so I'm going to try and hurry this up. But not being an adult, like, I still struggle with that. Like, paying bills on time, cleaning, you know, packing my lunch, like, just all this stuff that, like, you need to be adult enough for. Like, I got, 7 tickets in a year and got my license taken away because I was not adult enough to get my tickets and then pay them. Like, I would just let them sit, and so, long story short, I ended up getting my license suspended and revoked because I had 7 unpaid for tickets. So just, like, learning to pay my bills on time, like, managing a job and work and school, and I'm still working on it, and that's okay. I'm in a relationship now where I can focus on myself and on my partner at the same time, so definitely growing up, adulting, and, you know, just learning how to life, like, properly. So those are my biggest mistakes, and like I said, I don't think any of those are regrets because they've led me to the life I am now. Like, I have a nice new car, and I'm in college, and I'm gonna make something of myself. Like, I'm gonna be the first college graduate in my family, like, you better believe. I'm in a committed relationship. I'm engaged. I'm gonna get married to the woman of my dreams. I have an apartment. Look at all these. Oh, you can't see, I can't flip it. I was going to show you all my presents under my Christmas tree. Like, we have all these presents under our tree, and I don't know, life is going really well, guys. So, everything that you do in your life, like, it definitely, like, it turns back around. Like, every mistake I've made turned into something beautiful. Like, as cliche as that sounds, it's so true. Goals and achievements, I would definitely say that I want to work. My friend Alex said this, and, like, the more he said it, the more I thought about it. He wants to work with, like, LGBT youth, and I think that would be fucking awesome. I would also like to work with kids in the foster system, kind of give back to the community a little. Like, I was raised in the projects, and I think that would be nice to, like, work with kids in situations like I had when I was 15. I didn't have anyone to tell me, like, Kayla, you're fucking up your life. So, I just call myself Kayla. See, that's another internal struggle that I don't want to say still dealing with, but coming out and being non-binary was definitely a big struggle, and I still struggle with that. So many people know me as Kayla, and I don't know, I'm still struggling with, like, being non-binary and, like, telling people that, and being genderqueer, because that was such a big thing that a lot of people don't understand. So I'm still struggling with that. I don't want to say it's a mistake, but I should have, I don't want to say came out and, like, just been like, this is who I am. Like, I struggled with it. And I shouldn't have let, like, what other people think influence me. But yeah, goals and ambitions. I want to work in the social work field-ish. Don't really know what I want to do with that. Like I said, LGBT youth, maybe kids in the foster system. I also really into special ed. Kids with Down syndrome, autism, ADHD, all of that. That's really interesting to me as well. I'm in school right now. I'm starting my junior year in January, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm a little behind because I'm 24, but, you know, better late than never. And my goals are just, I would say, the same as anyone else. I want to get married, I want to have a family, I want to have dogs and kids, and I want to have money, I want to have a good savings account. And, sorry, my battery died. The 10% thing showed up. So my goals are pretty legit. They're just the same as almost everyone else's. I want to have a family and grow and become a great adult. I would like to do some life-changing shit. Be on the Ellen Show. You know, that's part of my life dreams, goals. So that's really all I have for this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And you're looking forward to, I think, Wednesdays are with Amber. Thursdays with Logan and the rest of the people on here. So I hope that this was a good video. I'm not as funny as I used to be. I'm going to work on that. Next week's video is going to be a lot funnier, guys. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you all had a great Tuesday, and thanks for listening to TuesGays with Kade. Bye, guys. Oh, and I won't see you before Christmas, so Merry freaking Christmas. I hope you guys all have a blessed and happy time and you get to spend time with your families and your friends and that it's just really great. Bye.